Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. So in this video, this episode, we have another tarot card reading, and this is one that's sort of relational. And so I'm going to keep this to just the querent. That's the person asking the question. I'm just going to keep it to her first name, or first initial of her first name, which is M. Her name is spelled a little. She has kind of an uncommon name, so I just don't want to expose her to any online grief, anything like that. So keep her privacy intact in that. So just for the sake of her privacy, we're just going to go with the first initial. And we're not going to mention his name at all per se, but we'll understand that this has something to do with relationships. So M went on a date with this guy a short while back, some days back, and they had a good time. They had a lot in common. They shared a physical connection with one another. It was really good. In fact, they were supposed to go on another date the other day, but he wasn't feeling really up to it, or he wasn't feeling so good. He wasn't on his A game, so to speak. So I had to kind of cancel on that and maybe decide to do it at another time. What she wants to know is, are his intentions pure? I mean, does he have good intentions here? And does he care? Is he in the same boat as far as the feelings and the emotions go with everything? So does he have feelings for her and stuff? So let's find out. Okay, so in the past, when it came to relationships and all, M was, we have the Fool card. This is just naivety. It's about new things. Like, the cool thing about this card, though, is it gives us opportunity to have other opportunities, to experience things, and to just kind of take a leap of faith and to go for it, If it wasn't for the Fool card, we would be very safe. We'd play it safe all the time. We'd never get out of our comfort zone. We wouldn't be able to experience new things as they come about. But the thing with the flip side of that is that we're kind of naive. We don't always know what people's true intentions are, or really where they're at with things and all. So for her, it was sort of like in the past, it kind of was that, footloose and fancy free kind of mentality. But that was the past. Now we have the present, and the present is really the Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles is about being grounded. It's kind of a little bit different energy than the Fool card, where it's sort of like we're not so grounded. We're just kind of going off in the directions. Wherever the heart takes us, that's where we go. The Queen of Pentacles is more about influencing our situation in terms of our groundedness, or in terms of our day-to-day lives, and having that influence over us. It's more protective, it's helping us to make better decisions, helping us to have a safer existence, like being safer, playing it safer, and security. It's about security, like feeling secure in the decisions that we make and the roles that we take on, and just our overall existence. And it's that material kind of security. It's about just groundedness, having a good structure, setting a firm foundation in place first. That's what this Queen really is all about in the present moment. So that's probably the reasoning for the questioning in the first place. Just wants to make sure she's making the right decision here, feeling like this is, she's setting things up the right way. Next, we have the Knight of Cups. And guys, I am when it comes to the tarot, like with the future and everything, I'm sort of calibrated to about a 3-month period. And from that and the energy of the card, I can tell you if it's going to be a lot longer than that, a lot shorter than that. You kind of pinpoint maybe a more precise date in some instances. But the Knight of Cups is really about relationships. And that's what we're talking about here. And this is not a really fast knight per se. He's not the slowest knight either, but he's kind of an emotional guy. He likes to take the scenic route to get to where he needs to go. But at the same time, he is thinking about the people that he loves when he's away from from the nest, so to speak, or away from home, and it doesn't really care. And so in terms of like this person's emotions and kind of what he's feeling right now, for M, that's it. It's sort of this, it's about movement, moving the relationship forward and stuff. And in the near time, I'm seeing a couple months from now, that's what you're going to start to really see happening. So from 2 weeks to 2 months, somewhere in that ballpark, between 2 weeks and 2 months out, this relationship will start to take off and the emotions will start to become a little heavier. And the movement in terms of the speed at which the relationship goes will continue to move and accelerate. And we'll see that here moving forward. Now, that Queen of Pentacles, let's talk about that for just a moment, because I kind of was like a little bit hesitant to really go into too much detail with it. And that's the present moment. That's kind of where we're sitting at. Well, luckily we have another card that kind of augments that or gives us a little bit more perspective on that. And that is this High Priestess here. She doesn't really say a lot, but what she does tell us is she speaks volumes in terms of what she does say. And what she's basically saying is to trust your intuition about this relationship. If you trust your intuition, you'll be grounded, you'll stay grounded, and you'll stay fixed on this relationship, and things can really turn out really nicely for you. I think right now you're feeling, just as I'm feeling, just kind of intuitively, that this guy probably does have pretty good motives, and that it is a pretty good relationship. And that the more time you guys spend together, and the longer that time transpires and that you're connected, you're going to find that you really like this person a lot, and that they really like you a lot, and that the things you have in common now are just going to increase, and you're going to find that it's a really good relationship, to the point where you're just not going to want to spend a lot of time apart from one another at all. You'll be able to spend time apart from one another. I'm not saying you're going to be tight at the hip or anything, but it's one of those relationships where it'll just be a really good, connection with one another, where you get each other and it's a good energy. And that's what this here is really telling me. That's where that High Priestess is really at. Whereas you're thinking about all of this, like what's kind of your motivation, or kind of your inclination, or maybe kind of where your thoughtology, or I guess kind of your attitude around this whole situation is kind of at. So it's sort of this Four of Swords. So Four of anything is really about stability. And we see that kind of play out in this whole thing. It's like, we've made decisions before. We've all done this, by the way. Like we've all had characteristics of naivety or foolishness, or, where we weren't really thinking things out, lots trapped in the moment. Our emotions got the better for it. Whatever you want to call it, it happens. So right now, this is kind of protection, and when we see Four of anything, it's really about stability. We want to stay grounded. We want to stay stable. We don't want we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to have turmoil or problems in our life. We don't want any of this kind of stuff, and this is also the Rest and Renewal card. So this is sort of like, so kind of the inclination here is to kind of like, just take things a little slow, kind of, be by ourselves for a minute, kind of focus in on our own needs, kind of what's right for us, and kind of just take a little break from things, and that's okay. And that's kind of where you're at with it. Not a bad place to be mentally. So we had that futuristic card a little bit ago when we talked about the Knight of Cups. Well, interestingly enough, our outcome card, which is also an indication of the future as well, is the Knight of Pentacles. So this is actually, I talked about the other one not being the slowest knight in the deck, but definitely not the fastest one either. That was the Knight of Cups. This fella here is actually the slowest knight of the knights, of the four knights in the tarot. And he is, he's just kind of like taking his time. He's not in a hurry at all, but he wants to set a good foundation and do things in the right way, build a strong support system, and of course have financial security to be able to buy things, to do things, and to just know that everything is going to work out and be taken care of. So you don't have a lot of things to worry about. A lot of people concern themselves with the financial side of relationships, because oftentimes the reason that relationships end have to do with some kind of a financial arguments, financial this, financial that. We see that. So divorces happen a lot of times over finances. When things go south, everybody suffers. And in relationships, that's it. We all share the brunt of responsibility, and we all share the brunt of the effect. And if somebody is commissioned with the job of taking care of the family or taking care of the other person, and that's kind of, and then sure enough, they're unable to do that at some point, a trust, insecurity, all these things start to come about, and then that might end a relationship. So for a lot of people that are going into relationships, one of the things that they try to say, well, before I can really move into a relationship or have a relationship with you, I really got to get the money thing right first before being able to do that. Not so much in the case of this. I mean, we had the Knight of Cups. That's the Knight of relationships. This is the Knight of money and stuff. So it's about keeping that balance between the two. So moving forward in the future, and always said 2 weeks to 2 months out, it's going to be about the relationship. 3 months to 5 months out, it's going to be about the stability of the relationship. So the relationship is not going to go anywhere. It's not ending today or tomorrow or anything. And the reason it's not is because of this card here. But how do we know that? Well, that's our last card here, and it's the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups, she is the influence over relationships. And influence is just like, what are these factors that influence relationships? Well, it's about groundedness. And sometimes it's material groundedness in terms of money and finances and things like that. But sometimes it's just, being in a good position monetarily, but also just in a good position in terms of like what we're able to achieve. If you're in a good position, say like you've got a great college education and you're able to go out and get a job that pays good money, you have a specialty or something like that, or you have a skill set that you have that other people don't have that gives you kind of an unfair advantage, or basically a specialized kind of advantage, you may be able to go out and take care of things and create income and have a better opportunity than some people that maybe aren't in that type of situation. So because of this card here, and because of this card here with the relationship thing, we see that there's that thing that's going on with it. So what is the answer to the finances and to moving things forward financially and relationally and everything like that? It's the influence of the relationship itself. How much in love are you? What are you willing to sacrifice? What is this something that you're willing to commit to in that? And that's really where the answer lies. And because it's the Queen, she's all about influence, the answer would indicate yes. So that's a great love reading overall. Probably a lot more information than you bargained for, as far as like this person and their attitude and all. It does answer the question, but it does a lot more than just that. And the overall question was just the intentions and everything like that. This person, they want to do things in the right way, and they want, and of course you do too, and to set a good foundation and to be there for you and to have a good relationship. And the longer that you guys are together, the more you're going to love and want to be in each other's company. And that's a really positive thing. And so moving forward, I see it happening. 2 weeks to 2 months, you're going to start to see that relationship really start to increase. I mean, that bond, that's going to be like a glue. This is going to be like the best thing for you ever. And you're just going to, it's going to be great for you. And then, 3 to 5 months is going to be about building some kind of a foundation, working maybe together in that direction or encouraging one another to do that. And then that's going to even set things up even better for you guys. When is the marriage coming? Well, I'm picking up it could come, but not right away, not anytime super soon. Possibly a year or two from now, though, I could definitely see that happening. Maybe, I don't know, 11 months is coming up. So where is that coming from? I have no idea. So where would 11 months put us? Well, if we're in September now, we'll say that it's August 30th. There's 31 days in August, I believe. We're almost there at September. So if we just backtrack 1 month, we would say probably first part of August. So maybe an August wedding next year, or could even be like a July wedding or something like that next year. That could be a very special time too. A lot of weddings do happen in the summertime. So anyway, much love, many blessings. I hope it helps you. If you have any questions or like to give insight or anything like that, or just connect or reach out, please do so. You can do that through different ways. In the description below this video, I've got my contact information, email, telephone number. You can text message that line too. It's an office line, but we do get text messages on there too. If you feel uncomfortable just calling, picking up a phone, calling. And then if you need anything, spiritual advice, direction, anything like that, as a monk, that's kind of what we do here. So please reach out to us, and I'll help you any way that I possibly can. And then also, if you if you guys watching this would like to help and support what we do as far as our service work goes and everything, as far as what we do as monks, and just help me out in general for basic maintenance, to be able to afford shampoo and just, food and things like that, you can do that also. Just go to helpbydonating.com, give whatever is in your heart. There is no amount that's too small. There is no amount that's too large. So just anywhere that's comfortable for you, it's always appreciated, never expected, but always, always appreciated. Much love, many blessings. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Indirect Knowledge, but wait, don't go anywhere. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and please, please, please hit that bell notification so that when we come online, you'll get notification of that in advance, and you'll be able to get your question out there online, live, so that we can answer it in real time for you. It could be any kind of question, we can just, anyways, I love doing those live questions. A lot of times I'm in a really psychic state, and so then I get a lot of really good answers and stuff that I can share with you. Anyways, much love, many blessings. See you guys on the next episode of Indirect Knowledge.